Assalamu alaikum dear students. My name is Dr. Fasiullah and in this semester I will teach the course that is Advanced Theory and Computation. This course has 3 credit hours per week. This course has been designed for Master of Computer Science and Master of Software Engineering students. Dear students, you can access the audio lectures and PowerPoint slides from Suit portal. Thank you so much. Today is our first week and first lecture of this course. Now I will follow some recommended textbooks and other supporting books and materials. Textbooks, that is Introduction to Formal Languages and Automata by Peter. The reference material or reference books, that is the Introduction to Computer Theory by Daniel. Second book, that is the Introduction to Languages and Theory of Computation by J.C. Martin. Third book, that is the Introduction to Automata Theory, Languages and Computation. Besides this, I will also follow some other material, that is research article published, and I will also follow some authentic web sources. Aim of the course. Dear student, why do we need to study this course? Or what is the objective of this course? The first objective of this course is to understand the concepts of finite automata, Turing machine, push-down automata, linear bounded automata, and so on. These different automata are came into the category of machine learning concepts. Before starting the learning of advanced machine learning algorithm, students should know about this course, that how to design an efficient system for daily life problems. Second, before starting to learn the machine advanced algorithm, students should know the basic formal rules, grammar to design the language with error-free behavior. That is a regular expression with grammar, languages, context-free languages, sensitivity to the language's design and development, and so on. Other purpose of this course is to relate the deep thinking solution towards the problem, which is a type of machine learning that we call it supervised learning and unsupervised learning. This course will also help to understand the complexity of the problem and how the student or the machine could able to solve such problems. Further, understanding the concept of algorithm and complexity level of the problem is very important for the students. In concluding remarks, I would like to say about this course is a little bit hard and needs more efforts for students to understand the problem with deep thinking. Next, we have the learning objectives. After completion of this course, what would be the outputs and how this course can give benefits to the student? Once the student understands this course, the student would be able of to design finite automata, which is a type of basic machine for any kind of problem. Second, student would be able to thoroughly analyze the developed machine and will process with different input messages. For example, I say to you to design a finite automata machine with given set like for example A and B. The condition for this set is always start with A and in the middle there must be two consecutive alphabets. So that is one of the basic concepts how we can design such machine. Third, Uh, Student will also able to design push down automata for the given context-free languages. So what is push down automata machine? In theory of computation, it is a branch of theoretical computer science, right? That uses a stack. What is stack? We know about push and pop concept. That is the same thing, right? Push down automata are used in theories about what can be computed by the machine. They are more capable than finite state machine but less capable than Turing machine. From the above example, how could we can solve different sets of problems? The student was also able to design Turing machine for given any computational problem. So what is Turing machine? It it accepts recursive languages and produces a certain output based on its input. Right, student? So here we know about the outcome of this course. So maybe you're familiar with some terminologies which we studied in this slide. So later we will give more explanation to some of the terminologies, right? Okay, in today's lecture agenda, we have introduction to regular expression, theory of computation, history of theory of computation. We have some languages types for this course, which is very common. Basic principles of the theory of computation. First, why we need regular expression. Let's look to some basic idea of this course and how this course can help us. What is the regular expression? Regular expression defines some patterns according to the nature of the problem, right? So what is pattern? Pattern means that we have some condition, some restrictions defining the language, right? So that's why it defines pattern according to the nature of the problem and produces the required output, which is normally used in the computer programming languages. For example, we can find some text in Microsoft Word and replace or update with some specific word. So that is searching of word, that is also called a pattern, right? A replacement or updation with the new word, this is with the sequences, or that is the definition, or that is the beauty of the regular expression. Further, regular expression also helps in designing the identifier for computer programming languages, right? It can also help to design identifier for our daily speaking languages. However, we will focus here for computer programming languages, right? We will not go for daily life example over here right now. Okay, so what is identifier? For any computer languages, whenever we store some items, some data, some information, so for that we need a variable. That variable is an identifier which is based on some condition, like for example how to define the identifier to C compiler or any programming languages. So for these we have some rule, like for example we must have a digit, right? We should have alphabet, that could be a small or capital, and we have the underscore, right? So we can write in different format according to the requirement. Like for example, if we have the example letter plus underscore, that is one of the format. Another format we can say that is the digit plus letter plus underscore symbol, right? So we can write the variable declaration in any programming languages with different format according to the need. Here we have again some explanation about the regular expression. Like for example, we can say it's a sequence of character. They define such specific pattern, right? So what is the sequence of pattern? Like for example, I say, write a computer language, or write a language that start with A and end with B. So here start with A and end with B. We have a sequence actually, right? So that is the sequence with such pattern, right? And second point, they have given with example searching, right? So searching also is a kind of pattern. Like for example, you have a 10 pages of document of MS Word, and you want to find some specific word or keyword. So for this we use the some pattern like searching the word like Pakistan, right, and replace with that option. And other uh, technologies, we use regular expression for search engine, right? Search engine optimization. Like what is optimization? How we can efficiently uh, build and design the Google search engine or any search engine for giving the accurate result according to your query. For searching purpose we can use, and we can also use for text editor. Alright, regular expression we can also see in the form of built-in libraries like SQRT and C languages, and MATLAB and Python languages. We have many built-in libraries. You just need to call them and you can use very easily without wasting any time. So that is about the some basics explanation of regular expression, right? Next, here we have a list of some common problem and web application that have been solved with regular expression. For example, we have an example validating the email address and password. Dear student, you know, recently, for example, recently you have seen or you have visited for any Google or Yahoo website. First, you have to provide your email address. For this, they first check whether it is available or not. That is called validation or validating that particular information. Once this that particular email address is available, then that particular server allow you to give a password and access your mailbox and so on. So this is one of the uh, benefit which is provided by regular expression to us. All right. Second point, we have the parsing text data file into section for import into database. Like for example, we have a one paragraph and we want to divide it into different words according to our objective, requirement or problem. For that we are using the parsing, okay, which classify, we divide or which break the sentence or data into specific word or combination. So that is also done with the regular expression. Like for example, for SQL or Oracle, we use some queries to extract or retrieve information from databases. So this is also done with the support of regular expressions. Next, we have the data validation. Like for example, you have a database with the front form or application. That form we have the fields. Each field has certain condition, like we cannot place the string, or we cannot place any wrong information in that particular field. Like we have designed that field for scene number, so we cannot give like the home address or any string combination. So that is called the data validation, or with some checks, right? Character allowed, like we can fix the field, like to accept 0 to 9, do not accept the minus symbol. plus symbol or point values or points or decimal points and so on. Another example we have particular expression, that is at least we need is to use one in-person sign symbol for email, right? So this is one of the basic application of regular expression in our technologies. Next, we have what is theory of computation, right? The theory of computation or theoretical computer science, short form is TCS, is a branch or sub-branch of computer science and mathematics. They deals how efficiently problem can be solved using computation model with the support of algorithm. So that is important thing, right? So it is the branch of computer science and maths combinedly, and they look how the problem can be efficiently solved. Efficiently mean we have to see uh, with less time the given problem should be solved in less time and with the limited or with the specific amount of storage, right? So that is called the efficient or efficiency of the system. That is why we use the regular expression for that. Okay, theory of automata or automata theory or theory of computation, these are the same thing, right? Automata theory is also called theory of computation, which deals with logic pattern using the machine basics input elements and other to solve the problem. Furthermore, it also deeply studying how machines calculate the function and solve the problem. In concluding remarks, automata helps us to design and develop an efficient model for such problem and analyze the dynamic behavior of that underlying system or model. So that is about the theory of computation or automata theory, right? Next, we have where we can use the theory of automata or what is the application of theory of automata, right? So we can use in the wide variety of topics in computer science and biology and physics. We can use anywhere because the automata theory, it defines the rules, right, for initially designing some machine. So the first we have, that is the algorithm. We can use the automata theory, right? So automata defines the steps and procedure for such given problem, how to solve, right? Second, we have, that is the data structure, which tell us about the format of input and output data, like how to manage and store these data on hard drive. Further, automata also define data structure control blocks for managing various types of storing data. Computational complexity. Here complexity means the difficulty. Computation means the calculation. So the overall meaning of this computation complexity is how much time and space required to solve the given problem, right? So the time mean how much time required to solve such problem. The space mean the storage capacity, right? So these are the basic things. Parallel and distributed computation, which means we can perform multiple operations on same data stored in distributed manner, like for example in cloud, right? Probabilistic computation, it performs the calculation in a random way, right, from actual probability distribution for each uncertain quantity. Next we have what is quantum computation, right? Okay, quantum computation related to the quantum computers, which are the machine and uses the properties of quantum physics to store data and perform some computation processes. We can also use automata theory, information theory, cryptography, which is the security related encryption and decryption, right? program semantics and verification, and machine learning. Beside these coverage areas, we can also use computational biology, computational economy, computational geometry, and computational number theory and algebra. Theory of computation deals with calculation procedures, and the calculation procedure depend on the arithmetic and non-arithmetic numbers. In order to achieve the desired result, the theory of computation is based on three steps like what, how, and what. And first, what what is the problem? Like what is the input? Right? Second, how is to perform the computation, or what procedure used to get the solution of the given problem. And the last one, what means what could be the result, or what could be the objectives of the given input values. So these are the important things. Like elements of theory of computation. Theory Theoretical computer science is based on the theory of computation. Further, the theory of computation is based on the theory of computability, theory of automata, and theory of complexity. These are pillars of theory of computation. Theory of computability. It deals with various types of questions related what can be computed and how it could be computed. So that is the theory of computability explanation, right? Further, it has computable and non-computable problem. So what is computable problem? Computable problem means those problems which are solvable in finite amount of time. Like for example, we have limited step in design of machines algorithm. And what is a non-computable problem are those problems which cannot solvable in finite amount of time, and also there is no such solid solution for that specific problem. Theory of automata. We have some important point. Theory of automata or automated theory came into being 20th century by the great mathematician in order to study the behavior of the system or model in different ways or in different thinking or in different direction, which can help to solve them accordingly. The most relevant example is the Turing machines. Automata includes series of action. They determine whether an action should be accepted or rejected. Right? That will depend on the requirement of the input and output in the intermediate processes mean the intermediate action. Design of automata is based on number of input processing states in the desired output. Sometimes we need many intermediate states in order to solve the given problem. Compatibility theory. Some problems are time dependent, which is hard to say to solve in a specific amount of time. It is called the compatibility theory. Next, we have the computational complexity theory. Complexity discusses how efficiently the proposed system can solve such problem in specific amount of time. It is the complexity, right? So again, we have here the time. Time is a very important factor for solving any kind of problem. That is why the complexity. Okay. Thus, there are two important points regarding the computation complexity theory. The first one we have, again, I'm repeating, that is the time. The second one we have the space. All right. So the time complexity, which are the measures of the number of steps needed to analyze and solve the problem. And what is the space complexity? Determine the memory space needed to solve the problem. These are the important factors needed for any given problem towards solution. The computer scientists nowadays are also looking to determine the required space and time in advance, which is, I think, very hard to measure in advance. It is not very easy. Okay, in this slide, that is about the history, how computational ideas evolve, right? This slide in the upcoming slide contain history detailed information about the theory of computations. In 1900, there were a prominent mathematician, scientist, uh, his name was that is the David Hilbert, presented his invited talk in International Congress of Mathematics. During his talk, he focused on 21 questions as a challenge for the 20th century of mathematicians in different areas of maths that are mathematical analysis, logic, set theory, and geometry. Thus, one of the focus questions was that it is hard and challenging problem to present a general algorithm or generic algorithm or solution for different types of problem. So that is the one important focus of the David Hilbert. Okay, in 1900, David Hilbert faces the 10th problem in mathematics. In mathematics, how to design and develop a general method to solve any type of question or problem. For example, a Diophantine equation is a polynomial equation usually involving two or more unknowns, right? Such that the only solution of interest are the integer ones. Thus, there are two important points for the Diophantine equation is the process in finite number of operations. In concluding remarks, there should be a generic solution for purpose-based problem. So that is what mean they have given to the suggestion to the mathematicians. Okay, in this slide, there are three examples of Diophantine equation which are solvable using Euclidean equations, right? Okay, the Hilbert's 10 problem was the following problem in computer science. Like, can we write a program that will take a Diophantine equation as an input and tell us after computation if the equation has solution in positive integer or not. So that was the 10th problem, right? So in the another scientist of mathematician, his name is that is the Mathesius. He proved that the 10th problem of Hilbert was unsolvable. So that is one of the claim of Mathesius. Okay. In 1929, Hilbert also faced inclusion problem. The inclusion problem used for Boolean decision with the concept of true or false, yes or no, which is also unsolvable problem. Okay, in 1936, uh, Alozok Church showed that a regime problem was also unsolvable. That is one of the great scientists also, which he later defined and reduced the Turing machine concepts. Okay, Turing machine. Alan Turing brought the idea of Turing machine containing abstract or generic computational view or devices or model to deeply investigate the limitation of the particular system with some extent. Turing machine was the first time called by the Oslo Church in 1937. Today, they are considered to be one of the foundational models of computational and computer science. Turing machine gives us precise with a computational modeling which are not solvable through algorithm approach because computer device has also some limitation in their capabilities and problem solving which is unavoidable. In between 1940s and 50s, Finite Automata designed to model the brain functionality. Finite Automata is a mathematical model accepting discrete inputs and outputs and containing many steps to solve problem. Any model depends on the inputting instruction and generate many state inside machine to produce an efficient output which is also known as finite state machine. FSM is the short form, right? Like we have an example of Turing machine, right? So if we see, this is the starting point, this is the state 1, state 2, state 3, state 4 and up to state 6. So that is depend on you whether you want to give S1, S2 up to Sn or you want to give Q1, Q2, Q0 and up to Q6. That is your choice. Okay, that is optional one. Okay, so uh, what does this tuning machine doing, right? So this finite automata or tuning machine accepts the string that is contained the ABV, right? So we have already this finite automata and we can verify and we can check how this finite automata can accept or access this string, right? So this is the basic definition. We will later see how we can use the tuning machine, right? So don't worry about this. Okay, we have some other example of tuning machine, like control mechanism of elevator, example of finite automata, and computer switching circuit. We have different control units on the motherboard with logic gates for different purposes. Text editor and lexical analyzer are often used for different purposes, like for example if you are using the keyword in programming languages like the for, if, uh, go to statement, so it is by default understand the text editor with the support of lexical analyzer. So that is done with the support of automated theory of finite state systems. Computer itself can be viewed as a finite state, right? So that is the example of tuning machines. Okay. Next, we have example of how we can implement the tuning machine or how we can uh, implementing the vending machine to buy something from the vending machine. So actually for vending machine, we have to define the operations or actions in other words, right? So in actions, whenever it come from action A to action B, so you have to define the different states, right? So we have an example over here in the diagrammatic form, right? So these arrows are the different action representing, and the small circle that represent the different states, right? So whenever we have a problem, we have to design the different direction, which is the action representation, and that is in the circle, that is the uh, operation activation options in any system. So we have a very simple vending machine with 4 actions, like we whenever we have on the start state. So first of all, we insert the coin. So here I have mentioned the quarter and coin are the same thing, right? uh, Whenever the machine come to the ready state, right? So there are 2 options. If for example we have given like a 50 coin and the cost of that item or any candy, that is like 10 cents, so it will return the remaining amount to the starting point, right, or starting state. Right after that, it will go to the delivery point, mean to say the open window over here, right. So this is the delivery place where we can collect the particular item, right. After collecting the item, so it will go to the zero state. Zero state mean to the initial state. So this is one of the simple vending example how we can use the tuning machine. The tuning machine further based on the regular expression and some other condition, right? So that is the simple example. And just like we also discussing, there are three states. So state one, state two, and state three, which is RD plan. Okay, thank you so much, student, for your kind attention and for the time sparing with me. Okay, if you have any question, you can approach me using my WhatsApp number, email, or you can visit to my office timing. So you are most welcome. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Assalamu alaikum.